What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This video is just going to be a video purely analyzing the AMC chart moving into next week and the coming weeks and into September in general. So let's jump right into that. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like on the video and subscribing if you haven't already. So the daily chart here, quite simply, looking fantastic. We have held above our previous highs. We have held above the 75 MA. We are looking pretty. We've got a couple things that I want to point out. Very simple reasons why I think we're going to have a beautiful couple days coming up. Purely, like I said, this is all just chart talk. So we got our double top. We've seen this before right here. We got our double top. We got our rejection red day. And then we had our green sideways. We had our double top back here. We had our red rejection day. We had our green doji / sideways day. Back here, this wasn't exactly a double top, but it was a false break above the old top there, the previous day's high, a drop back down, and then a sideways doji candle, followed by a streak of green, just a streak. This was 4 straight days of green. This was 3 straight days of green, and I think it would have been 4 had this not been such an enormous day. And then so here we are. We find ourselves, the computer was lagging there for a second. We find ourselves in this situation again, going into the new week, the exact same situation we were in when we went into the last week. The only difference is we are up quite a bit higher. So a couple things here. Let me just delete everything on this chart just to get it all out of the way. Start fresh. Excuse me. Sorry, something in my throat there. Okay, so the 75 MA here is very roughly and pretty close, but also roughly the weekly 15 MA. There are 5 days in a week, the majority of the time. So you take the daily 15, multiply it by 5, go on your weekly chart, and that's you take your weekly 15, multiply by 5, put it on your daily chart as the 75, and that should give you a pretty close representation of where that 15 MA on the weekly chart is while you're looking at the daily chart. Throughout the week, it does move to help give you an idea of where that's going to be going into the new week. We are above it here. We never went below it on the daily chart. On the weekly chart, we go to the weekly here. We did come down below it for a couple weeks and fought to get back for 2 weeks. We used it as resistance, 2 weeks. And then this third week, this past week, we finally broke above it. We came down below it Friday, which I was not happy about because I didn't think we'd really come down here and stay down here as long as we did to begin with. But we popped back up. That last few minutes of the day helped us create some separation, get us some space, and that way the new week, when it opens up, this 15 MA will be slightly higher. We will hopefully be slightly higher than that 15 MA come open Monday morning. If we're not, it's not the end of the world, but it does help with the algos that buy the stock and looking for certain triggers and certain things like that. Sounds silly, but they fight hard to make sure that they close above or below or whatever, certain candles, certain days, certain hours. They will fight in the last 10 seconds of a candle to dump it to get 1 cent below an indicator or a level of resistance. It's pretty sickening to watch all day long. But so getting back above that before close this week, I think was a fantastic sign. All right, so we're going to go here and look at the 1 minute. We're going to turn off the extended hours. As you can see, we had this beautiful W pattern play out. We have come right here back to the highs of the day. Well, this high before we closed. Very strong close, got me feeling good. Above the VWAP, closed above the VWAP. Got me feeling pretty good about going into Monday. We're even up about 0.5% here in the after hours yesterday. So I think that's great. We broke out of the longer term trend, downward resistance. If we take and draw a line, we have broken out of it. We actually broke out of it earlier in the day. The one we broke out of right before close, we managed to get ourselves up and out of this downward resistance. So that is even fantastic on top of fantastic. It's funny, you look at this chart. This is the 5-minute chart. You look at this thing. This looks awfully familiar, doesn't it? Doesn't it look awfully similar to what we're seeing on the daily, or like the 4-hour chart? It looked pretty similar, that little sell off and then the double bottom and working our way out, working it out. So look at this. We got a nice, if we go to the hourly chart, we got a nice cup and handle that's potentially forming that can just blast us straight up into the 50s. Potentially up to the 58 region. That's my guess. I think that next week we could see a test of $58. Call me crazy. I think it could be Monday or Tuesday, to be completely honest. Monday, I think they're going to give us some trouble. I think we're going to have a little bit of trouble Monday. There's a lot of stuff going on in the markets with SPRT. You got BBIG going crazy. Everybody's talking about BBIG now. There's a lot of stuff going on. So the attention's spread out, but I don't think that's going to stop this. It may delay slightly, like throughout the day. But the way it's been mirroring SPRT intraday, I think that it could just go at any time, because when people are making all this money in other places, they're bringing it right back here to AMC or GME or their favorite stock, and this is most people's favorite stock. That's a fact. And so I think we're going to see a lot of inflow of money coming in, especially if you were to see something like SPRT have a sell-off tomorrow and drop like 15, 20, 30, 40, 50%. Yeah, well, it's up a mess. If it drops a lot, you're going to see AMC do the opposite. I guarantee it. But that being said, I don't think it has anything to do with SPRT or any other stock, what they do. I think this breakout is imminent regardless, because we really just need to get back above this 50 MA, and we used the 5 today was our resistance. The 5 and the 50 kind of came together. There was our resistance. So I expect that we're going to test it again Monday, and with the other indicators coming in, the 15 starting to curl up, the 75 is coming in. I think that you're looking at 1 day testing 44 to 45. The next day, 48.5. If it breaks 48, it's not going to stop until it gets to 53, 54, $55. It's just not. You might have some resistance, but it's going to run at least up to right here ish. In my book, 53.5, probably going to go past that. And I would say give you your test of $57, $58. This is what I'm expecting next week. A test somewhere in this region, minimum. So there, go ahead. Screenshot it, mark it down, whatever. We're coming into this box by Wednesday, I think. Wednesday, Thursday minimum. I think we could potentially even let me stop. Coming up, folks, we're going to be making some money. That's all there is to it. Now, looking at the indicator, the RSI, and my new favorite indicator, the KDJ. we do have the break below the cross here, the J crossover. All three of them crossed. The J and the K came down below the D. But that's not that serious. As long as we get it turned around tomorrow, you know what I mean? Like, we had that same exact scenario play out back here on May 21st. Just saying. And then the next day, it turned around. I mean, this is not all that much different than what we just did, breaking out of 38. And then we came up. And now we're, you know, in that area right here. Wonk. So with all this, look at all this space here. Once this breaks out, it's a gap. So I think we could see this turnaround. RSI already started turning around. We're right smack in line, you know, with our trend here on the RSI, counting and not counting this little false break below out. We could draw a line. If I could, I would, right here. So we're right in line with that. In our KDJ, all we need to do is just have a green day tomorrow, and this pops back up, and we're going to be, like I said, I think looking at a situation similar to what we had back here. I mean, these look almost identical as far as the KD and KDJ indicator goes. It's insane. And the RSI, look how low we are. We're 55. We're above neutral, but we're still so low. But when you go back, where were we? Right there, May 21st. May 21st, 56 on the RSI, 56.5. So, you tell me what you think. I think we're going to 50s Monday, Tuesday. I will see y'all there. That's all I got for this one.